Good evening and welcome everyone. My name is Dr. Pankaj Vij, and it is my distinct honor to welcome you all to this evening's program. And now, without further ado, I would like to invite our guest for the evening, Dr. Akil Taher, who all of us have great admiration for, and we're absolutely delighted to have him. Dr. Taher is a practicing physician who joins us from Atlanta, Georgia.
Thank you so very much, Dr. Vij, for that kind introduction, and CWC for giving me an opportunity to speak about a subject, heart disease in South Asians, a subject which is very close to my heart, no pun intended. Here are three beautiful examples so that you can understand this. Two of these were my partners. One is from Bihar and one is from Gujarat. Both these are doctors. They had less than 50% blockage, but they got a heart attack. What did I say? Friable clots that break and form an emboli. So one had to have a stent, the other had to have a surgery. This is a Nepali gentleman, a patient of mine. He was now living in Colorado, and so he was from Nepal. But remember, again, a South Asian. And he was an avid mountaineer. So that means he was fit. Physically, he was fit. But so he used to love going around the mountains in Denver and climb those. And he used to get short of breath. And he used to attribute this to his age, 55 years old. Until one day at the Denver airport, he fell down, clutching his chest. He got a massive heart attack, had to have 7 stents put into his coronaries. Why do I say this? Because if even you are exercising like our second generation younger Indians, but you eat a bad diet, the nutrition, you are still going to get heart attacks. And I have had in the last 2 months, 5 women, their husbands young, 41, 47, 52, crying to me on the phone. So know this thing about it. I'll tell you what happens to us and we'll go from there. So let's go. Let's look at South Asians. The general risk factors for everybody, whether you're a South Asian or you are a, say, white American or a black American, or we all have certain general risk factors like high cholesterol, blood pressure, smoking, diabetes, obesity. This is from the Interheart study. But we have the mediators of atherosclerosis in South Asians living in America, the very aptly called the masala study. Now, what did the masala study show? The masala study it took about I'm not too sure, about 1,000 plus 1,100 people that took in the study. And what they found was that they were not obese in the Western terms of obesity. That means your body mass index, 18.5 to 25 is normal, from 25 to 30 is overweight, and about 30 is obesity. Now, don't worry about this BMI. You can easily Google and you can get your own BMI. But this BMI for us is not proper, because if you go to India or if you go anywhere in the South Asian countries, you do not find these people obese, but they carry fat. Where do they carry the fat? They carry the fat in their abdomen. That is the visceral obesity. That is a fat that is around your heart, in your muscles, in your liver. The healthy fat is under the skin, the subcutaneous fat. So we South Asians, for some reason, we will have a visceral obesity. I, for one, had a BMI of 23. I would have fallen through the cracks. But I also had a small little pouch. I was not obese. I had visceral. So what the Sati study, South Asian Transitional Heart Initiative, says that you should do a waist circumference better. So it should not be more than 35 inches in men and not more than 30 inches in women. I believe that this should be about 32 inches in men and about 28 inches, not more than 28 inches in women. So we go to the next. Now looks a very busy slide, but don't worry about it. We'll make it excitement now. Okay. So next is insulin resistance. What the Sati study is also showing this. What is insulin resistance? It is when you have blood sugar, the sugar in the blood is carried by insulin to the cells to be used as energy. Now, if you take this and take it to the cells, and as I told you in the previous slide, if it is obstructed by fat, the sugar will come back in the blood and you will become pre-diabetic and then you will become diabetic. So the Sati study found that even this insulin resistance, even with our second generation Indians who exercise a lot and come back and eat the typical Indian or the sad American diet, you are going to get insulin resistant. Or insulin will not work. Again, we South Asians have smaller coronary luminal diameter of our coronaries. In plain simple terms, it means that we've got smaller coronary arteries that can get easily blocked. We've got larger lesions and multiple vessel disease. So the third and fourth I've seen in so many South Asian patients, so many. We've got this high triglycerides, which are a form of fats, the glycerol. So, and these triglycerides, if you can see this, I have seen patients with 500, normally it's up to 150. Mine was 200 when I was diagnosed. But think about this. This triglycerides, I've seen patients at 1,000, 5,000, and I've seen one gentleman, South Asian, Indian, 10,000. And their blood looks like a cheesy sauce. And then again, very low good cholesterol. My good cholesterol was only 29. I've got it up to 57 because of exercising and diet, but diet does not help, of course, in any way, but we'll talk about it. Very low good cholesterol and high triglycerides combination I've seen in a lot of South Asians, and this good cholesterol is HDL2. Now I have got, see what is a good cholesterol is like a garbage truck. It takes away the bad cholesterol. And this good cholesterol, I have about 10 patients, 9 women, who have got good cholesterols in their hundreds. So what I tell them that you probably die of a common cold, but you won't die of a heart attack. So here goes another thing. A high coronary calcium content. This is the calcium which is found in your coronaries, which shows that you can get atherosclerosis, which is an harbinger for heart attacks, future heart attacks and strokes. We have a higher metabolic syndrome. Metabolic syndrome means that you've got high blood pressure, low good cholesterol, the good cholesterol, high triglycerides, high blood sugar, and your visceral obesity. 33% of South Asians are having higher metabolic syndrome. And 17% of women, South Asian, are having a higher metabolic syndrome. We have an independent risk. We spill protein in the urine. That's an independent risk of coronary artery disease. We have more vascular inflammation. with the role of CRP. You can talk to your doctors and say, look, I want my CRP done, C-reactive protein, because it has a strong role of inflammation in atherosclerosis and diabetes. Gestational diabetes, our young women, pregnant women, are more prone to get diabetes, and some of them carry this after the delivery and get type 2 diabetes. Sedentary lifestyle. I don't want to even go there, because I sometimes wonder, we are 1.3 billion people in India. Why do we get so few medals in the Olympics? Now it is picking up. I understand. Why? We exercise our brains, but you got to exercise your body. I'm not asking people to climb mountains and do marathons. And then you have the sedentary, the dietary habits. Dietary habits of South Asians is, and especially now, with India getting so economically advanced, we are having a bigger problem, because we are having a Western diet as well as the rich Indian. See, sometimes I feel that in India, the poor people in the villages, it's a rich man's disease, heart disease. The poor people who don't get this eggs, meat, and all that, they rarely get heart disease. While in America, it is a rich man's, because the poor people always go to McDonald's and Burger King and whatnot.